So you've probably heard me talk many times about the fish meal and pellet based ground baits that Sonubaits do. Now, we've been doing more non-fish meal mixes and we've done them for a long time. And in recent years, we've tried to tweak those mixes and improve them to get them to the highest standard possible. I've got them to the point now where I'm really fortunate that I can say there's like 3 mixes that I can strongly choose from to combine anything, get anything I want out of the mix. And that for me was the main thing. I like to keep things as consistent as possible. And now with these mixes, they are so good that it gives me the opportunity to combine them and get exactly what I want for different situations. So a little bit of education for me and you guys here today about what the mixes do and how you can use them when you're out on the bank to get the best from them. Because obviously with mixes, the name might not always be exactly what you can use them for. For example, Sweet Skimmer, unbelievably good for roach as well as it is for skimmers. So that's just the sort of thing I'm trying to get to you guys today so you can understand why and when I might use them. So first of all, I want to start with what I'm calling my base mix. Now, for a lot of my fishing on natural venues, when I'm using non-fish meal based ground baits, my mix has to be dark. It's like number 1 for me. Rarely do I use a mix that isn't like that. So the deep water mix is my go-to. Now, deep water is basically there to say something that you can use it in, but you can use it in shallow water. You're not limited. It's great for roach, bream, skimmers, hybrids, all those type of fish, dace. And this is what I'm calling my base. This is my base mix. Now, if I just open a bag to give you guys an idea of what it's like. All right, this ground bait, nice and dark. Look, it's got some nice bigger pieces in there, but not loads. It's got salt in there. It's got biscuit in there. So it's like a sweet and savoury type combination. Nice breads. Very, very, very high quality ingredients in that ground bait. Really nicely ground to give you everything that you want. And if I just... This is always like a little test for me. If I chuck a little bit on a pinky riddle like this and give it a little shake, it shows me the odd little bits of biscuit and hemp that are left on the riddle, which is perfect. It's what I want. I want food content. But if you notice, most of it's gone through the riddle. So I can understand in my own mind, and you can tell they're biscuit, look, because they just crumble through there. So I can tell in my own mind that this mix is relatively... I'm not going to say it's like the finest mix ever, but it's not a coarse mix at all. And it's lovely. It's got ingredients in that I know roach and skimmers both like. I can smell like that coriander style addition to it, but as well as having, like I say, a sweet taste as well. So it just combines everything, which is why it's a great base. And you can use it on its own. If you just want to use this ground bait on its own, then no problem. It's a great ground bait. And I was saying, if you're picking one, deep water is the one I'm picking. Now, I want to do different things in different times. Let's say I'm going on a flowing river and I want to put lots of particles in my ground bait. I want to be throwing balls of ground bait in regularly. Then this mix is great, but I actually want my mix a bit stickier. Now, Sweet Skimmer is a beautiful fine ground bait. Okay, this is a finer version, if you like. It's different to deep water because it doesn't have any hemp or it doesn't have any like sort of coriandery type things in there. There's nothing like that. It's literally like biscuits and ground maisey type things, salt, sugar. It's a lovely mix. It's what I'm calling a skimmer mix. It's not a... That's why we called it Sweet Skimmer. And you can see how fine it is. It's all the particles in there. They're so fine. There's odd little nice... The yellowy bits are like corn and stuff like that. But again, they're so fine. If I stick it on this pinky sieve, look, literally just shakes straight through the sieve. There's nothing left on the sieve. So it's a lot finer mix. But of course, being a finer mix, it means it makes it stickier. So often I'll mix some Sweet Skimmer with my deep water to get that stickier type of ground bait that when I mix up, I can make into nice hard balls with loads of food in there that I can throw in for fish. Like, so let's say I was going on the Trent feeding balls regularly, River Yare, the Wye, I'd be going 50-50 deep water and sweet skimmer in terms of a nice sticky food-based mix. Very, very nice indeed. Really nice ground bait. Now, the only thing that's missing, in my opinion, is it's not a particularly coarse ground bait. As you've seen, everything through there has pretty much gone for a pinky riddle. It's a beautiful mix for, let's say, if I was going Evesham or the Steynie, anywhere, bloodworm style fishing, it's fantastic. Like, it's exactly what I want from my ground bait. But sometimes I need my ground bait to be much more active and have much more draw and attraction to it. Something that is like really got a bit of snap, crackle and pop. And to do that, you want crushed hemp. You need like that's coriander, more crushed hemp, those sort of things in your ground bait, seeds in there. Well, Black Roach does exactly that. So Black Roach has got the breads, it's got the other ingredients, but Black Roach is absolutely full of crushed hemp and crushed seeds. So if I give that a shake like that, look, you can see all the crushed seeds, all the crushed hemp on the sieve there. I'm not going to throw them away. They're brilliant. They're food, but they're also activity because they don't tend to take on loads of water. So you're going to get that little ping, ping, ping coming off your ground bait. You're going to get the oils from the hemp coming off your ground bait. And it's a really, like, it's not a dead mix. So if I want something much more active, much more like drawing fish in all the time, then I need to add the Black Roach into it. The sort of mixes I've talked to you about there before, stickier, heavier, those sort of mixes I always think you need for nice quality fish when there's lots of fish in the venue. If you're going to a hard venue, then you need to look at adding some sort of attraction in there, some sort of activity. And that's where Black Roach comes into it. So I used this, where did I go recently and I used this? Oh, I know exactly where I was going. I was going on a commercial and I was using like an F1, but I just felt like it was a bit dead for Roach. So I literally put half a bag of Black Roach in there, and you could see my ground bait activating and working for me really well. Caught some lovely Roach over the top of it because effectively pellet based ground baits are very dead, so to add some activity in there sometimes, Black Roach can be brilliant. So if you imagine I've got something that's active, not particularly sticky, by the way. Black Roach, active, not particularly sticky. I've got like the medium ground bait there, which is like I'm saying your base mix. So basically, like I said, if you don't know, just literally mix a bag of that on its own and you're going to be bang right. And then if you want to just tacky everything up and get it a bit stickier and a bit more bready based, then the sweet skimmer is going to be the one to add in. So think about where you're going, think about the sort of venue you're faced with, but those three ground baits can do anything you want. And believe me, the quality of ingredients in there is superb. So it's perfect for those natural venues.